All right, so today we're going to talk about horizontal stretches and horizontal shifts and how they interact with each other. And this is one of the most challenging transformations to deal with because they're always doing like opposite of what you would expect and reverse order, and so it's really tricky to keep track of what's going on. But let's consider if I take this particular one here, when I do B part, I'm going to shift it left 2 first of all. As I said, shift it left 2. And then I'm going to do a horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. So if I think about this parabola here, here's my x squared parabola. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that parabola, I'm going to shift it over to negative 2. So now this is negative 2. And then every single x value here, and let's recognize that this is the point negative 3 comma 1, and this is the point negative 1 comma 1. And what's going to happen is I'm going to take every single point there and I'm going to multiply the x values by 2. So I know that this negative 2 will actually become negative 4. This negative 1 will actually become negative 6 comma 1. And this negative 1 will actually become negative 2. And so I'm going to end up with a parabola that is wider than the original blue one. And so if I was going to put this into an equation, I would probably get y is equal to, I would think about, well, it'll be x plus 4, because there's my vertex, plus 4 squared, and all my x values are going to be multiplied by a half, is what the equation would be. And that would give me this. And if you want to confirm that, I can show you, let me turn some of these off. If I go y equals to 0.5 x minus 4, sorry, plus 4 squared. There's my graph's going to be. It was shifted over to 2 and then stretched out. But coming up with this half and this 4 seems kind of random and kind of challenging to come up with. So this technique here might help you. And let's think about this. So I have my initial point x, and I'm going to convert x to a u. This is my image x, where the new x is going to be. So each of these x's, I'm going to take it, I'm going to subtract 2 values from it. Okay. Once I've done that, then I'm going to do a horizontal stretch. I'm going to make them all bigger. And so it's going to be 2. And so these are the transformations done to x, and I want it to be my image point. So if I rearrange this and solve for x, I can then say x minus 2 is equal to 1/2 u. And then I can say x is equal to 1/2 u plus 2. And plugging it in, for here's y equals x squared, I'm going to take, this is my x, I plug it into here. And so it's 1/2 u, which is actually an x value, plus 2 squared. And if I algebraically pull out inside here a factor of 1/2, well, then this has to be plus 4. That's the plus 4. So here's the vertex that you see, and then the horizontal stretch that we're familiar with. And so this technique will actually help us keep sense of what's going on. Either way, whether you write it this way or this way, is going to be fine to do the horizontal stretch and horizontal shift. And that is this one. When I consider B part, or C part rather, let me clone this page and try C part. Okay, when I try C part now, here we're going to first horizontal stretch it by 2, and then we're going to shift it left by 2. Okay, so here's my initial parabola. At this point I horizontal stretch it by 2, which means it's going to be out here a bit. And then I take that blue parabola and I'm going to shift it to the left, knowing that this vertex is negative 2. So doing this little trick here, I know I'm going to go from x to u. I'm going to first take my x, multiply it by 2, and then I'm going to take this whole thing and subtract 2 from it. Here's my image. So solving for x, I get 2x is equal to u plus 2. And so x now is equal to 1/2 u plus 1, dividing both of them by 2. And so my new equation will be 1/2 x, because a u is my action x value, plus 1 squared. And so if I try that over here in Desmos, I've typed it in here already. This one here has been shifted over 2, and it's the one that is wider than before. And so it took that red graph and shifted it over to the right. And so this here is how we can think about the transformations. I could also, if I wanted to rewrite it, I could rewrite it 1/2 x plus 2 squared, and then you can see your vertex. Either way is fine. I hope that helps clarify how to work with horizontal stretches and horizontal shifts.